Hello, I'm Indiana Holley from Indah Pages, and with me today I have Naomi Beaumont, a remarkable woman who has defied conventional paths to forge her own entrepreneurial journey. With a background in financial management, Naomi thrived in a world of profits and bottom lines, however yearned for a purpose beyond monetary successes. As such, Naomi embarked in a journey and a new chapter within her life, one that embodied both her passions and her values. With an unwavering commitment to follow her heart's desires,
Yes!
Naomi founded a bespoke cleaning service unlike no other, BONITA CASA. BONITA CASA not only provides an exceptional cleaning service, but also prioritises the well-being of both the environment and women within every stage of their lives. Welcome, Naomi.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you so much.
Now, I have to ask, when I was doing your market research around the concept of what your business is, there was nothing like the business that you have created. So I'm absolutely curious, what was the actual idea behind your concept?
It actually wasn't an idea, and it really came from a feeling. And it started a really long time ago, and someone asked me when I was pregnant with my little boy, what do you want to do with your life? And I said, all I know right now is how I want to feel. And I want to feel nurtured. I want to feel loved. I want to work with beautiful women. I want to work with flowers. I want to work with music, and I want to work with beautiful products. And I didn't know where that was going to lead, but I knew how I wanted to feel. And then some stuff happened in my life that was difficult, and I just started working as a cleaner to earn a little bit of extra money, and I saw such a gap in the market between cleaning and nurturing. And I had this desire that every house I went into, I wanted to make it feel beautiful. I wanted to take the outside in. I wanted to make it feel like lived in and beautiful and soft. And whenever that woman and man, obviously men are living in the house as well, whenever they walk into the house, I wanted them to feel, wow, this is so beautiful. I feel beautiful here. This linen's done. Everything smells beautiful. There's flowers that Naomi's brought from beside, our beautiful little tree outside. And everything kind of just fell into place from there. And I never thought in my wildest dreams that I would be in a business that I was cleaning, but I found that cleaning was about nurturing. And it not only nurtures my clients, but I found in the toughest times in my life that it helped nurture me. And it was about my self-care as well. And I think for me, my journey started with my own journey of self-discovery, of self-care in my own home. How do I, with no money, make this house feel beautiful? How do I make myself feel beautiful? How do I bring in flowers, and how do I nurture myself and nurture my home? And that's really where it started. And it just kind of became bigger than Ben-Hur, and people kept saying, we want to do business with you. We love what you're wanting to create, I suppose. And that's kind of where it started.
Absolutely beautiful. And I love the point that you touched on, is you don't need a lot of money to incorporate luxury and beauty into your work. And I understand that beauty philosophy is your business philosophy, as much as the notion of self-care.
I think the foundation of any business, firstly, if it's about the feeling, how it makes you feel, the next part of it is, what is the foundation of that? And then everything kind of just flows from there.
So it's kind of like a compounding effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you go first, and then everything else will sort itself out.
I think I had to go on the journey first before I could actually take other people on the journey.
Yeah.
So I went first. I decided that I was going to do certain things in my house. So I put fairy lights in the garden, and I made sure that everything felt soft all the time. I needed a soft place to land in my life, and I suppose this is what came out of that.
It's so beautiful. I love that so much. It kind of inspires me because I think we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
It's very much the hero's journey. Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey is you go through chaos, you grow, and then you come out the other end, and then you teach what you learn, which is pretty much what you've done from, as you said, a bumpy period
and it's
in
been
your life.
a tough, beautiful, growing journey, if I can say it like that. And, you have to go first to be able to teach, I think. And I think that's, very much how I wanted to. And I didn't mean to do it that way. It's just that I wanted to go first.
Unfolded that way. You took the first step. Because it's we've had that conversation about leaving the corporate world and jumping off the cliff.
Literally.
And I guess it's not knowing the unknown, the fear of the unknown, but you just trusted and took each step.
And every day it was the fear of the unknown.
I bet it was.
But I kept reminding myself of the feeling I had and reminding myself of how I wanted to feel in my new business. And I just kept going back to that. And as soon as I went back to that feeling, that heart space, everything just fell into place as I went along.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I know one of your target audience is specifically women, especially mums, new mums, working professionals, pretty much every woman who needs that support in their life. But I noticed in the past, it's also the man behind the woman too. So you've shared some stories. You had a recent giveaway where I understand the husband put in the application for the wife. And then, of course, you had the gentleman, unfortunately, who's lost his wife. So do you want to talk a bit about the journey of being able to support the man behind the woman?
Yeah, that's been a little bit of a surprising journey, but because I really thought my business was about women, and to be honest with you, it's become a lot about the men as well, and about nurturing them, because they're nurturing the woman, their partner in life, to support them to move forward. But I've also noticed that these men also want to be nurtured themselves. And I also noticed that a lot of men don't ever think about self-care for themselves. And maybe it's about not being brave enough to say, I need some help, or I need some care, or my home needs some care. And I'm looking after a beautiful client right now that has just lost his wife. She was terminally ill. And I get to go to that house every week and just love him, and love his house, and just nurture him, and check that he's eaten and check that things are being done around the house, but just to check in, but to also make sure that his environment feels comforting, feels warm, and feels safe. And that is so important for him right now. For everybody, men and women. So it's become a journey about women, and then it's just sort of, obviously, as a business transforms, it's become about everybody. Everyone needs a BONITA CASA in their life. Everyone needs someone to nurture them and love them, and nurture their home, and nurture their children that walk in, and put flowers on the table and things like that. And it's really important.
I think that's one beautiful aspect about your branding is the imagery that you show of your son performing self-care activities as well, which is so important, because I guess from my generation, it's very much, we watched a mother that always put everyone else's needs before their own, and not actually, practicing what you preach. But here you are, you're kind of instilling that.
And it's interesting because I've noticed him now telling people, and he's 5, telling people what I do. And he says to everyone, my mum's not a cleaner. She goes into people's houses and she puts flowers everywhere and makes it feel beautiful. And I just think that is so beautiful. And whenever we go to the florist, because I take him there through the week, he just thinks that that's amazing. Oh, Mum, these flowers, they're so beautiful. And your clients love these flowers, Mum. And I just like, oh, yeah, they will, darling. And he's really understanding about self-care for himself. And our
witnessing Mum do that.
And witnessing what it's like to bring flowers home for Mum, and he's forever picking me flowers because he knows that's about my self-care. And he's learning that at such a young age. package.
I think we all need that in our lives, don't we?
I think so.
So to talk through the services that you provide, you offer 3 packages: the Home Renewal package, the Flourish and Bloom package, and the Mini Bloom package. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Can you run us through what they are and what the differences are?
I suppose they're a little bit different in relation to length. Some of them are 4 weeks. The first one is 4 weeks. The second one is 6 weeks, and the third one is just a one-off.
Yeah.
And we do it that way so people have a choice of what they want to do. And I kind of, the second one also, which is a longer one, we also add Tara Hegarty in there, which is, she's my dear friend, and I love her to death, and I know she'll watch this, so I love you.
A good plug.
Good plug for you. And she comes in and she does beautiful house clearings. And what I've also noticed in that package is every house that she looks after and she does a clearing in, it has this beautiful energy about it. When I walk through the door, I can feel it.
So another thing I've witnessed is that you have this ability, it's like you're this orbit, and you have this ability to attract the most beautiful collaborative partnerships around you. You've got a gift basket, which is titled the I Am Loved gift basket, which we'll go into. But I wanted to touch on how you've managed to attract such extraordinary women to contribute to your business.
I think that I decided when I started this business that I was really firm on who I wanted to do business with, and the women and the men who I wanted to surround myself with. And I don't actually falter from that at all. And I also will get a feeling when I'm meeting someone. I'll get an energy or I feel disconnected or I feel connected. And all the women that have just popped up in my life that have been a part of now BONITA CASA, all of them have just helped this business thrive. They've contributed in such a beautiful way, and all of them have something to offer my business, my clients, and me personally. All of them, including yourself, like every woman that came into my life, I believe was meant to be there for a reason, and they were meant to be a part of this business for a season or a lifetime. And that's how it was very distinguished of how I was going to do that.
It's beautiful. I love that. It's kind of like everybody comes into your life as a teacher one way or
Absolutely.
To look at it.
Good and bad.
Yes. And the products are you're very discerning about the products as you are with the people as well.
Yeah.
So there's one item that I absolutely adore, which is the mug.
Yes.
The I Am mug.
Yes.
Which kind of is, you come home, your house is completely divinely cleaned. It smells like poetry when you walk in the door. You're just in awe, and you run around after a hard week of work and you're just like, oh, Naomi, thank you so much. And then you see this gigantic gift basket with Loco Love chocolate and the I Am Love mug and some Ayurvedic tea as well. So the concept, did you plan that would be the way?
I wanted to put things in there that I use for my own self-care. I love having a cup of tea in the afternoon or in the morning, and it's my safe place. It makes me feel really beautiful. Some people have a glass of wine. I have beautiful tea, and I eat chocolate to go with that sometimes. Not at 9 o'clock in the morning, but in the afternoons, maybe I can. But I wanted to put things in there that I use for my own self-care. And that mug was actually bought for me when I was going through a really hard time in my life by one of my sisters. And I still to this day remember how it made me feel. And every time I pick it up and have a beautiful, cup of tea, and it has I am loved on it. And it's my affirmation to myself that I am loved and we are all loved. And I think that every woman and every man needs one of these mugs. They're so beautiful and they're big, and you can have a big cup of tea and a big chocolate beside it and don't feel bad. So
big hug.
And a big hug.
For yourself.
Yeah.
I'd love to ask, like, one of my questions was going to be like, how do you practice self-care? But it feels like your self-care practices are the things that are influencing everything that's implemented within your
everything that I do in my business, I've gone first to do myself.
Yeah. And I love that.
It's like where I place the flowers in houses, I usually place them in places that I feel are needed the most. And I always feel that flowers always should go beside the bed, because when you're getting in, that's just, you feel really beautiful and the flowers are there. And always in the bathroom, I have this thing about putting flowers in the bathroom, because you're looking at yourself in the morning and you're looking at these beautiful flowers and they're so connected. Why aren't we connected to this beauty? We're bringing them from outside in. We should be connected to that. And it's so strong. And I think that that's why we do lots of small vases plus the big one, but we do lots of small ones because I feel like they need to be placed in beautiful places around the house, especially in the bathroom.
It's like little love notes everywhere around the house to tell you just how everything from the mug to the flowers, it's all been strategically thought
Absolutely.
about.
Yeah, and felt. I do it in my own home, and so why wouldn't I do it in someone else's?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you're expanding, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
You launched in Canberra, so you're in the sunny coast at the moment.
Yeah, we've launched in Canberra, we'll do Brisbane, and then we'll do Sydney and Melbourne. Yeah, which is really exciting.
That's beautiful.
Big job.
A big job. When is she coming to Byron?
And a 5-year-old.
So what's next for BONITA CASA? Where do you see it going? What's your next biggest goal with where you'd like to take it?
Obviously, take on the world, build
the men.
I want to build a brand that women can relate to, and obviously build BONITA CASA to a point where it's in every location around Australia. But I'd also like to teach women and help women do what I've done and help them bring out those desires about creating a business from heart. Because I think that is so bloody important. And I think a lot of women sit in their corporate jobs right now really unhappy. Yeah. and have been stuck there for a long time and are so full of fear. And unfortunately, what can happen in life is the universe will say, I'm sorry, but the time's now. You need to get out. And something will boot you out.
Yeah.
And it will be tough and it will be hard, where it doesn't have to be like that all the time.
Yeah.
I think the universe can give you a bit of a kick in the ass sometimes and go, it's time.
Yeah.
You're ready, when you're not feeling like you're ready.
Yeah.
And I think we can support each other as women to nurture that side of things and to really be intuitive about building a life of beauty and building a life that is so connected to the universe and to ourselves and to our girlfriends and to our husbands and to our children. I think that is so important. And doing this business has really shown me how to be really connected, because I'm working with people that are sometimes finding life really difficult, and I need to be really centered to be able to nurture in that space, take all the ego out and just be present and hold space for that person and have a huge amount of empathy to where they're at.
Yeah. Energetically, that would be a lot at the end of the day to go home. So what do you do?
I think I do what I have always done. I put the music on, I make a beautiful tea, and we dance, and we sing, and we cook beautiful food, and it's our time. That doesn't happen every night, but it's takeout now and then and things like that. We also go to the beach, we swim in the ocean. There are things that I do every day to feel loved and cared for in my life.
And I do witness you do talk the talk, or walk the talk rather, because I do see you on the weekends. It's not work related. It is playing Maxi and Mango on the ocean, always in your Zen spot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's important. It's so important to take yourself back into the things that make you feel the most beautiful, most warm, nurtured, cared for. And the ocean is one of those places for me.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Water is so purifying.
It is.
So cleansing. I think I want to talk about the notion of self-care and nurturing other women. I feel within the industry, when I spoke about doing the market research and not being something similar to what you're providing. How do you feel the industry itself is disconnecting that component between why having such a beautiful environment and sanctuary?
I think the cleaning industry needs a good shake-up.
Yeah.
I think that we so often think that the cleaning industry is just a service industry. You come in, you mop the floors, you clean the bathroom, and you leave. We forget that someone is coming into our home, their energy, everything about them is in our space. And so what I've learned so much about is energetically what we're bringing into a space. These people live in this home. They sleep there, they function there, and it should be cared for more. I think the cleaning industry can have a nurturing component to it. Mm-hmm. And I really think that we at BONITA CASA are able to, we've sort of moulded that together. Mm-hmm. And, you know, a lot of my clients will say, their children will say, oh, Naomi's here and she helps us clean the house. And I haven't heard a client say, you know, actually that's not the case. She actually helps mummy and daddy. And she cares for our home and she cares for you and she cares. And I just think that to come into someone's home and to clean it, but be called family, I love
a big
that.
part of their life.
I'm a massive part of their life.
Making their life easier.
Yeah.
So
I'm transforming their life and I'm making sure that they're cared for and nurtured.
Yeah. Yeah.
Through cleaning.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, how many times where I've been sick or I've been in a ebb and flow kind of component of my life where I'm feeling down. Yeah. The first thing I will do is get up and clean the house when I'm starting to feel better. So
I'll notice if I'm not okay, the house is usually not okay at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And it is a component of that. And also what we use in our home, what we're smelling in, what we're ingesting is such another thing that's so important. You know, we get a cleaner in, but we don't ask what products they use. We don't ask who they are. We don't ask the whole heap of questions. And I think that needs to be looked at.
Yeah, yeah. So touching on the products, I understand that you provide a personalised, tailored approach to the packages that you provide your clients by providing them with a questionnaire. And one of the things that I absolutely loved about that is your personalised approach to the scents that they love, so that when they come home, you align that to who they are, what their desires are.
We connect smell to things of beauty. I know that whenever I travel around the world, I will always buy a perfume in that space. And I do that because when I get home, I want to remember walking through New York and buying this certain perfume and how it made me feel. And so I wanted to sort of attach that. So whenever you come home to your beautiful house, it could smell like citrus, it could smell like peppermint, vanilla, whatever you attach that smell to, you'll always remember that. And I still get my perfumes out and I go, oh, I feel like walking in Paris today. Ooh, I'll get Dior out. Oh, here we go, Dior's on. Oh, I'm just in Paris today. You know, I love those memories. Yeah, and connecting those smells to beauty.
Yeah. It's so important.
And to a feeling, remembering those beautiful moments.
Oh, God, yeah, definitely. Even in childhood, there'll be a scent that you can remember.
Yeah, that's why we do beautiful candles at the same time. So candles are another beautiful scent that we add to the gift basket as well.
Such a sensory experience.
It is. It should be.
You come in, you've got, the chocolates, you've got the scent, you've got the flowers for the visual and yet again more scent as well. So you just feel like such a queen when you walking into the house.
That's how I want you to feel.
Yeah.
That's how I think you should feel every day when you walk into your house.
Yeah.
And how you should go to sleep at night and how you wake up.
Oh, like that conversation we were having about, I try to find a word for it. You know, you have the word that you get when there's the smell of rain, but there was the feeling that you talked about getting into crisp, clean sheets, and fresh towels that have been washed. And
I have a little routine that I do on a Friday that I will always put fresh flowers in the house. I'll always do my sheets, and I'll always have a fresh candle or whatever I need, because I know those things will make me feel a certain way. And so everything I try to do in my life is how will that make me feel? Or how will it make her feel? And I always think about, well, when she walks in the door, when he walks in the door, this is how I want it to feel for them. And I think if that's your foundation on things in life, I think if you're way ahead of everyone else.
Most definitely. You do have that, I think we've discussed where you set an intention before you go to somebody's house.
Every time I walk in the door, I'll just get a feeling that today I just need to nurture, or I need to care for such and such, or I need to do whatever it is. And it'll just be a feeling. And it's something I do before I walk into everyone's door.
Set that intention.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. The whole thing's very ritualistic.
It is. Yeah. And when I walk into my own house, it has a certain feeling, has a certain energy, and it's a certain ritual that I have, and what I speak into my life and what I speak into my home is so incredibly important in my life.
Yeah. And I know that you wanted to give that even to people that haven't been able to afford that, so you do take that into consideration. And recently you ran a giveaway, a Mother's Day giveaway with Bree from McGrath. Is that correct?
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we got a lot of nominations, and we had a beautiful winner. And I actually rang her probably last week and had a chat to her about what she had won. And I said, do you know anything about BONITA CASA? And she said, no, all I know is I've won cleaning. And I said, okay, that's great, but you've won a little bit more than that. And she said, oh, okay. And then I ran through everything that we will do for her and how it will make her feel. And she said, I've got butterflies in my tummy. No one has ever made me feel like that in my house. And that, for me, was beautiful, that we could give that beautiful gift to her. And she is a mother of 3.
Wow.
She's a university student. She's works full time, has a beautiful husband, and no one helps her in her house but her. And she's, I've never had anyone just come and put some flowers beside the bed or do the sheets or put some washing away. And I said, well, we're going to do that in the next couple of weeks for you. She was like, oh my gosh. And I said, I'll send you the questionnaire right now. Within 5 minutes, I had that questionnaire back.
I bet you did.
With a whole heap of stuff on it. So, yeah, it was beautiful.
And the competition requirements was that somebody wrote in.
Yes.
So you had quite a significant amount of inquiries, and they all must have been so hard to choose from.
It was super hard, and we just had to go on intuition.
You needed it. And are you going to run any more of those?
We will. We are running another one in July for Brisbane and Canberra on the Sunshine Coast, which is really exciting. Yeah, lucky
women.
My time.
Lucky
men. Lucky.
So I guess I want to touch on the fact that you did jump off the cliff and you did start a new business, and you said see you later to the corporate world. What advice would you give to other women wanting and desiring to do the same?
Whoa.
Like, I know we touched on, you probably didn't have a choice because you said when the universe is
So
telling
I
you.
could have gone back to the corporate world, and I could have gone back to that space. But the drive for something more was so strong. And I would say start with something really small and start with the feeling. How would it make you feel if you could wake up and you could do something that sets your heart on fire every single day, that brings tears to your eyes because you are so happy that you're able to give something that is so special of yourself. And I would just say start with that one thing, and if everything inside of you says this space over here no longer works for me, and it's never worked for me, and if this space feels so beautiful and full of light, then just start somewhere. Start writing it down. Start thinking about the feelings that you want to feel in those moments.
So inspiring.
Just start with those little things. It doesn't have to be everything all at once.
Just start small.
Just start small.
It feels like you have this overarching blanket of this new rule of discerning about the products that you use, discerning about the people that you have in your life, and very discerning about how you spend your time, which is why you took that jump and started BONITA CASA.
And I was really, really clear on who and what and how it was going to look. But the underlying factor of that was how it made me feel.
Yeah. It's that trust in yourself, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
And trust in your intuition.
And know that it knows.
Know that I'm actually looked after and cared for. The universe is here to love me and support me. It's not going to make a wrong mistake. Everything I'm going to do it's going to be okay. It will be okay.
Yeah. Because it does want to support you. Even
does.
when life feels really awful.
Life is really shit. And you want to like you're still in the trenches. Like you will get out of there. Yeah. And it will be okay. It will be okay.
So to inspire other women, I know that we've had this conversation, your tree theory, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. And then long term, you're thinking of doing a mentoring program.
At some stage, I would love to be able to obviously train my staff first and foremost on how to, suppose, be a part of BONITA, CASA and nurture. The other side of that is how do I then teach or help or mentor other women to take that leap. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of the next step. And it's, that beautiful tree of life. I believe that there's this beautiful tree and that we're all connected, all of us. The people that are going to videography today, the people that we are all connected and we will all have an interaction with each other and it will inspire something else over here. And it might be 3 years away, it might be tomorrow, and we all are connected. We are all energy. And I believe that all these little conversations that we're having today will turn into bigger conversations and more beautiful conversations, and it'll just keep going and going.
That's beautiful. It's such an energy behind it, isn't it?
It really is. And actually, I can feel it in my body the more I talk about it. It's just like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Inspired action.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Because that's how it should feel.
Yeah.
You're kind of scared shitless at the same time and you're excited on the other side, It's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to touch on one of the services that you provide, which is so unique, and that is Tara Hegarty and what she provides. So energy clearing and house clearing.
Yes.
So can you talk about that a little?
Look, Tara and I became friends by absolute chance, and our boys played soccer together. And we used to sit literally beside each other for probably 6 months. And I remember she said something about spirituality. And I was like, okay, spirituality. And then she said about house clearings. And I was like, whoa, like you've been sitting next to me for 6 months and I've never talked to you about this. And I believe that the time was right at that moment. And we became firm, beautiful friends. And I really wanted to bring her into my business because it's an added beautiful service that not only, are we cleaning and clearing and all that kind of stuff, someone could come in and go, hang on a second, there's something going on in that spot over there. Mm-hmm. We really need to clear that energy out and we really need to move it on and move it through. And I obviously went first. So Tara came to my house and did my own house, and I could physically feel the energy shifting as she walked through my house. It was beautiful, and I just wanted everyone to be a part of that.
Share
the love. Yeah. And she has a heart for people, and again, it's someone that I wanted to surround myself with.
Yeah. It's a beautiful concept, a beautiful business. I love your heart, Naomi. Absolutely gorgeous. So final question, Naomi, I have to ask, what is the one quote that has impacted you the most in your life?
I think that it's not a quote. I think that it's definitely a song that I listen to most days with my little boy. And we listen to it on the way to kindy in the morning, and we both sing it. And it's a song by Indah, and it's called I Am Light. And I always, when I'm singing it, when he's singing it with me, I imagine that there's all light coming into my body, and it's how it makes me feel. I think sometimes with quotes we can say a quote, but not actually feel anything. It's just words. And I really feel that with anything, it's about how it makes us feel. And it's about the energy that we're putting out. It's a vibration that we're putting out. And this song, if you haven't listened to it, you need to. It's beautiful and goosebumpy. Yeah. And I saw it live And I cried and cried. It was so
Oh.
beautiful. And I think, everything's about energy. So I think that for me is the most important thing that I listen to most days to get me centered and ready for my day.
Such a great answer. Thank you,
You're very
Naomi. One last thing.
Oh, yes.
Where can people find you?
You can jump on to Instagram, obviously, or to our website, www.bonitacasa.com.au.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're
This has
so
been
welcome.
absolutely beautiful.